GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello and welcome to the second round of the Virtual V8 Supercars 2012 Championship. I'm joined once again by Mr. Ivo Simons.
Hello guys. Hello guys.
And Mr. Keith Barrick.
Hello Ryan, glad to be back.
Glad to see you all again, and we're going to be covering the second round, as I'm saying, and we are live here at Barbagallo, as you can see, and the action is ongoing at the moment. They're all in practice, and let's just have a quick look at the practice times as we come into it. Let's get it all nice and organised for you. This right buttons might be helpful as well. There we go, Keith. And we should quickly discuss the previous event, Ivo. During that event, we saw that the reigning champion Florian Strauss picked up where he left off really from 2011.
Yeah, he showed his pace again right away, and like you said, indeed he left off where he ended last season, and I think he hopes he can continue with this race also.
Mm-hmm. And the results are here, just for everyone to view. I can see Florian Strauss finished 8 seconds ahead of Toby Davis in the end. Toby Davis got fastest lap, but really Florian Strauss had that all under control. And there was an interesting battle between the THR drivers, wasn't there, back for the podium positions?
Yeah, I wasn't commenting on that. Yes, we let him through, Toby Davis, but there was a good battling between those guys, and they have the same pace almost, so it's going to be a great THR battle also this season.
Absolutely, and I don't think Vec took too kindly to being third best in the THR crew for once.
Yeah, he's almost a test drive now, so...
And so we also had, of course, Hotshot Carter come in, a new guy to the series, and he did a solid job, but the big thing was really, wasn't it, Ivo, that we didn't see the speed that we anticipated from these big names.
Yeah, but it's like... of course, it's the beginning of the season, and the guys that are on top for the first race are the guys that also raced last season. So it shows how important it is that you have consistency with the car, and you are used to the car for one whole season. And that shows off at this moment.
I mean, of the big hotshots, I mean, only Carter, Ripper, and Slade managed to make it into the top 14, and you know they were 5th, 11th, and 12th. So. I mean, it just shows really how strong TouringProSeries is, and quite frankly, even I didn't realise how strong TouringProSeries was compared to how quick they were. And what was interesting was, sorry, Ivo, carry on.
No, it's just great to see that so much talented level. You have of course the big names like Casa and Greco and everything, but also some new names that probably a lot of guys don't know outside of TPS.
Yeah.
It's great to see that.
It is great to see, and we saw a bit of a tyre battle at Melbourne as well. It was going to be important to look after those tyres. We saw it most dramatically from Slade dropping from 2nd to 6th as a result of just tyres going off in the final 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, it's just I think the most important thing of this mod and everything. One lap pace is important, of course, but it's a different driving style than the race pace, and it's really looking after the tyres, and it's just. Different styles come and play there.
They do, absolutely. I'll quickly talk about the Division 2 drivers who made it in, who obviously did a good job. We've got Ross McGregor there, who held off an almost debut winner, Adrian Hulme, last season. So Ross did a great job there. Junt Finisia Racing also followed Hulme into Server 1. Basol also, and Orban, LaRose Walsh, Matuszewski and Defray all came up. Only 6 drivers came up, but unfortunately due to a couple of absences, we've got a few more drivers come up. Let's just quickly show you those drivers, just to quickly familiarise yourself with the drivers and their liveries. Here is Nicky Defray. He drives for LSD Racing. That'll please a few people. And there is his livery, so people can just pick him out on the broadcast. Let's quickly show you. There is David Junt. He's in the green Nidro Racing car. You see Adrian Hulme there in 16th. He's in blue of that livery, so you can definitely look out for that also as well. You'll have Barbagallo, we know already. This is Luke Walsh. He's in the 25 Motorsport car. That's his livery. Nice bright green. And the Yves LaRose, him and Ross McGregor, get the words out, him and Ross McGregor will be in the same livery, so you can pick them both of them out. They're both driving for Black Visor Motorsport. And we'll quickly come through here and show you the new one more new driver. It was Tomasz Matuszewski. he's currently 22nd in qualifying, but he's driving for PCGC Racing this season. He's really helped to boost the talent level of that team. And I believe that is it. Actually, Tom Haley
Adrian Holm as well.
Adrian Holm, yeah, he's got the same kind of livery as David Jones, really. But Tom Haley has changed his livery, as you can see. He's a slightly different colour scheme. Now it's white instead of a yellow. And there's a slightly different team change there as well, isn't there, Keith? You want to quickly
it was a bit of a change. Tom's racing with the ATR management in the Formula Sim racing, and there was a bit of kind of a contractual thing, a contractual issue that resulted in a wholesale change of the Nocturne team to now be ATR Nocturne, no longer THR Nocturne, but Nocturne. But I do believe they are working a little bit together still, just kind of.
There's a bit of soreness there, from what I heard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess when you're racing for a team and you've got sponsors and such, you kind of have to stick to it. And on the note of sponsors, gamepod.co.uk. You can see them in the top left corner. You can check them out at that website.
Nice red and blue textures I made there, Keith.
Yes, it's beautiful. We changed it up so it can be very visible for everyone, and you can see it all over the track here. These guys have made this series a big deal for us by stepping up and sponsoring us and providing us with one of their fantastic products to give away to the champion of the season, and also in a couple of other fashions as well. They will also, as we did last race, they were providing a promo code for 25% off to one lucky viewer, and we will be announcing how we will be giving that away later on in the race. So just stay tuned, and we'll give you that information. But also, one thing I failed to mention at the last race that is very important for any of the U.S. Canadian viewers, they do offer 40% off. They're offering right now 40% off of shipping to anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. So
because of course they're worldwide, aren't they, Keith?
They are worldwide. They are longest running manufacturer of sim racing seats in the world, as far as I know. 1998 was when they began. It's great.
Happy then.
I know. I know. Yeah, I think I was playing Need for Speed on PlayStation 1. But it's great to have them on board.
I was still playing Sonic Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah, I know. We weren't even thinking about racing, and we've now labeled this shot that we're looking at right now from Jeffrey Reskus, who's now off track. When we're looking back on the cars, looking back from the cars, we were calling this the GamePod wing, which, as you can see, the different liveries. This is Stoffel Van Dorn there. GamePod wing will be in full effect here today as we're looking at some great racing action. So, thank you to GamePod again, and thank you to Ash from GamePod as well. So.
Absolutely, and the GamePod wing will be featuring quite a lot in this race, and we'll be seeing plenty of close action, of course, at this track, won't we, Keith? It's a very tight and twisty track.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's being such a short track, but being so close, this is going to be very exciting for everyone to watch and everyone involved that's racing.
I mean, everyone can see the times right now.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, it's incredibly close.
I mean, really, rather than me talk about the track or us go on board with someone, how about we leave it to the professionals, and we can throw you a quick video to you and give you the true look into Barbagallo.
Absolutely.
Turn 1 at Barbagallo Raceway is one of the most interesting corners in Australian motorsport. 2 reasons. It's the slowest corner, and it's also the lowest grip. So when you arrive here, it's 215k, you break the car down to 90k, and there's 2 ways of going about it. There's a classical line, it's got quite a lot of crown on the road. There's a classical line where you brake and stay on the left-hand side of the road for as long as possible. Or there's the modern trail brake method where you brake the car all the way into the apex, into the inside clipping point. As I said, it's a very tough corner, and it's one that you've got to control the slide of the car on the way to the corner and then maintain your mid-corner speed to get a good run out of turn 1. When you get to turn 3, it's flat out in 4th gear, up over the curb, and some of the great moments we've seen there over the years and through the weekend. You've got to brake the car over the rise and then get it to the only left-hander on this track. This is a seriously good corner. It's got 2 apexes. You've got to brake it to the first apex, control the slide, and then use the banking of the road to keep the car to the left. When you make the second apex, accelerate it up into 4th gear, across the top for turn 5, and down into the bowl. This is a great section of road.
what's called the bowl. And as you can see, it actually looks like a bowl, and it is a bowl because it's got more camber on it than pretty well any corner in Australian motorsport. And it's very, very difficult. Let me tell you why. Because when you exit this corner, third gear, as you run up the hill there, that corner continues on, and it goes for about 100 or 150 metres. So it's a long time that you're actually trying to get the car to 100% throttle. Now, whilst you're doing that, the car's turning right, remember, so all that load for all of that time is going into your left rear tyre. And given that we're going to see some soft tyres here this weekend, it's going to lull drivers, I think, into a false sense of security, and there'll be guys that manage that well, and guys that are going to drop right off at the end of the race. One of my favourite bits of vision in Australian motorsport as a kid was actually watching the cars as they crest that hill and come barrelling down the hill. Now, having driven down there, I can tell you the car feels like it picks up about 150 horsepower. I mean, you're flat out, top gear, but the thing just takes off. But the next part of that is you come into this braking depression. The braking zone is actually in that depression there. And as a result of that, you can apply more braking pressure than in any braking zone anywhere in the country. And that results in some great braking duels right there. Now, the other thing that is unique to Barbagallo, doesn't happen anywhere else, is this stuff. The circuit is surrounded by sand, and over the course of the weekend, that blows out, gets dragged out onto the track. No big deal, that makes it a little bit slippery, but what makes it really hard for drivers, because remember I said about how hard your left rear tyre's working, it's up over 100 degrees centigrade. That's hotter than boiling water. So that sand actually sticks into the rubber of the tyre. Makes car handling very, very difficult.
So you've got it.
So that is a description of this track as we see one of the TBR drivers get out of shape going out the pits. I think that was Andreas Loeffler. And we're seeing the times come down here at the moment. We're going to quickly talk about the championship standings. Just bring everyone up to date. Here are the championship standings. You can view these on the Touring Pro Series website. Just go to TouringProSeries.com and click results in your top bar, and you can see all the statistics of the TPS leagues over the past 3 years, all in one place, all lovely, neat and tidy. I spent many hours on that, didn't I, Keith?
Yes, yes.
We see Florian Strauss is actually top of the results, obviously, because of that first race win. And basically, you see, obviously, that the championship standings are the results of the first race, apart from a couple of notable exceptions. A few drivers did get a bit of a slap on the wrists for their pit lane excursions. A few drivers decided that they didn't want to stay inside the pit lane exit white line, and they got a slap on the wrist. Toby Davis was one of those. Just slightly outside the white line, but lost 4 points as a result, so he's back to third, level with Levesque now. Also, Andreas Loeffler got an 8 points, in fact, penalty for that. And a couple of others also got, Simon Ripper was another one of those. So you see a slightly different outlook there, but it's pretty much the same as it was from the first race. Also, a couple of livery things for you to talk guys. News is, that's the word. Livery news is. This car here, that you see right here, is the winning livery in our Virtual V8 Supercar livery competition, painted by Marco Felix for the Opium Racing team. And this is the car that won the vote in the Virtual V8 Supercars forum as the best skin of this series. And there was some stiff competition, wasn't there, Keith?
Oh, absolutely. And there was a little bit of controversy about it being a bit of a popularity contest, but I mean you're picking the skin that you like, and it may be because you like the Skinner. And
so I don't know who instigated that. Was it RoboCop?
I think it was RoboCop. Peter Weller.
He likes to stir things up.
He does definitely. But beautiful. There were some excellent skins from a lot of these guys, and I mean this.
I can see the group pass right now.
Oh, it's such a good looking field out here. So, I mean, it's eye-pleasing and it's also extremely exciting. And anybody watching, if this is your first event tuning in, whether it be live or watching the replay later, you're in for a good show.
Absolutely. And also, on the livery front, we aren't going to qualifying, but on the livery front, we've got a couple of minutes while we do that. On the livery front, there is a livery competition. So if you fancy yourself as a bit of a Skinner, but you need a bit of racing equipment, GamePod.co.uk are giving away a GT1 wheel stand worth over €100 to the best designed livery, GamePod livery, produced by yourselves, by the community, and these will be decided by votes on their website, by a Facebook like. So None of this favoritism thing going on that we've been debating before, but you can find all those details in the Virtual V8 Supercars forum. If you go to TouringProSeries.com, click the Virtual V8 Supercars logo, then click forum, then you will find your way into the thread, and the details are in there, and all the specs that you need to know, and the logo packs also as well. So we're looking forward to your best creations you can make possible. In fact, the deadline is May the 17th, so you need to get moving really in the next 5 days and produce some lovely liveries for Ash from GamePod to peruse, and he will use that car as one of his flagships for his website. So that's
on the
the prize
website
out there as well.
And
so
the
you get
Facebook
plenty of
page as
fame,
well.
don't you, Keith?
Yeah, you do. You get a lot of recognition.
And on our
that
Facebook
car
page as well. We're too nice, aren't we?
It'll be plastered everywhere, and your artwork will be on display for everybody. And maybe we'll even get Ash to print one up and put it in their shop too.
Absolutely, that'd be very nice. We'll get you to make a render of your cars as well. That'd be nice. So we are now into qualifying, of course, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We've come down the introductions, haven't we, Keith? We've gone through all this introduction, getting people into it, letting people know what's going on. But now this is the time. This is qualifying.
This is the fun. This is the fun stuff right here.
And who's been looking good throughout?
Well, the thing, just while you were talking there, it was this track being so short and being just 54 seconds long, you can see it's a non-stop stream of cars coming out. And it is
like
very difficult. It's a very difficult thing.
It's a V8 Supercar river.
And it's difficult for them to even get out of the pits. But throughout the week, live racers just kind of went for me in between sessions. But we've only seen.
You're not using your memory, Keith.
My memory's not the greatest. I mean, we all know that. That's common ground. But throughout the week, we've only seen a number of drivers get down into the low 54s, topping the leaderboard. If my live racers opened up for me, if I remember correctly, it was Stoffel Van Dorn today did a 54.24, I believe.
Something like that, yes, absolutely.
There was two drivers.
274, that was one.
274, and the other driver in the 54.2s was Toby Davis.
Danny Asby also did 54.299. Everyone saw this in practice, of course.
He did, yes. And so three drivers all in the same rough time spot. But Florian Strauss had led the leaderboard most of the testing leading up to this. But the THR guys have put in a ton of effort. I was talking with Toby late last night, and very, very focused. Even though he hates this track, he's looking to get a good result.
He's put in lots of practice, hasn't he, Ivo? As he always does.
He always does, yeah. And Strauss did more server practice than last race.
299 from Strauss.
Oh,
there we go.
nice.
Sorry to interrupt there, Ivo, but 299 from Strauss. That's his first two of the entire 2 weeks, I think. So that shows, doesn't it, that he's still on form.
Oh yes.
And in traffic also.
In traffic as well, yeah. Well, it's pretty easy following De Grief, I think, isn't it? It's not too bad a person to drive. To follow.
Side over there. Oh, look at that! Oh,
showing off all the cameras. Second place at the moment is Toby Davis. He was very, very quick here last year, and relatively speaking, he's exactly the same speed as he was here last year. But of course, he has improved as the competition has improved. So
yes,
he's kind of. That's the thing about TPS, isn't it? At the moment, Keith, if you do improve, you kind of stand still because you can't because everybody else is improving as well.
Well, looking back at last season, Ben Crooks was pole sitter last season with a 53.7. There were some car changes, but the cars were supposed to get a little bit slower with the changes made. Is that not right, Ryan?
Absolutely. The cars are about 0.8 slower.
So it shows
we're only seeing times 0.5 slower. So and that's a biggest gain, is it? 0.3 on such a short track.
Yeah, and the winner last season was Ben Crooks. Second place was James Johnson, and third was Florian Strauss. Mm-hmm. And they all ran relatively close times in race pace, 54.0 being the fastest race lap, which was done by Ben Crooks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're going to see exactly how much quicker these guys have picked up, because they should be, like you said, about 0.8 of a second. If they're half a second off those times, they picked up 0.3 overall as a whole group, and that's phenomenal.
It really is. It's very, very close at the front here as well. We've got Toby Davis on a quick lap at the moment. It doesn't look like it's going to improve unless he does a blinding final corner here. It's a very strange corner here, isn't it, Ivo? I mean, you've raced it before in 2010 in these well, not exactly the same cars, but in this series. And that final corner is very kind of an early apex, late apex almost.
Yeah, you need to turn in really early and then always run out to the curve. And it's an important corner because the whole last sector is almost that corner and straight a little bit. So it's really important. So Peter is just running wild in the corner. Nice and running wide a little bit here. So you really need to hit the apex there, and run it out to the big curb on the left.
The car improves, only a 5.01 though. He wasn't particularly impressed by that. And Tobias Schlemmer was actually in 5th at the moment. He was very quick here last year. I remember last year he definitely was quick, and he was quicker than Strauss over a race run as well. But a little bit too kind, I thought. In the final few laps, he passed Strauss, and then let Strauss repass him, and then Johnson got through on both of them as a result of Schlemmer being so charitable. So Schlemmer needed to be tougher during the rest of the season there, and I think he was a little bit tougher from then on. And but Barbagallo was really the place where, you know, it reminded me, for those who watched the real V8 Supercars, Mark Winterbottom, incredibly fast, very easy on his car, very easy on the eye, but never much aggression, and has had to develop that in the past 2-3 years as a driver. And I think Schlemmer was that type of driver.
Yeah, it's just that on this track, if you are faster, there's only a couple of places where you can overtake, but you really need to aim for it and really commit to the overtake.
Absolutely.
Really,
I mean, you found that out. Well, we'll quickly just watch Van Dorn's time here before we talk about your story in 2010. And Van Dorn locking up into the final corner, looks a bit understeer and a bit oversteer off the exit. He's going to have to just go straight across the line and hope for the best.
Oh,
he improves, but not enough. That final corner, as you're talking about, is so important.
But he ran wide, even ran wide a little bit, so...
Absolutely, and he got out of shape as well. It's all costing. It's just those hundredths of a second that are costing these drivers here at the moment. It's still Strauss on pole by 100th from Stoffel Van Dorn, by a half a tenth from Toby Davids. Quickly talk about your experience in 2010, Ivo.
Yeah,
I know you like to tell this story again and again.
No, people know me as I'm more not a really aggressive driver, and I think I qualified okay here. I think around top 10, I think. But then the guy in front of me didn't come off the line really good, so he bucked down. So I needed to go to the right, to the grass and everything. So I lost around 5 places there, and I never got those back in the whole race.
Yeah, you spent the rest of the race just trying to get them back. I think you ended up finishing where you started. And I remember 2010 when I raced here as well, and against people like De Grief and Crooks, and I started 8th, and the kind of just finished 8th. Nobody made any mistakes, and it was difficult to pass, and it was very frustrating as a driver. People who've watched me in Clio's know that I like to overtake, don't I, Keith? And,
yes.
It gets very annoying when I was stuck in behind drivers for lap after lap around this circuit.
So one thing I just wanted looking through the grid list here. I was just trying to see who is the quickest so far of the drivers who have moved up from server to from Division 2. Matadzowski, I believe, is right now.
Nobody in the top 16 at the moment is from server 2.
I think Matadzowski is, I believe, the quickest.
Matej Orban, actually.
Matej Orban. Yeah, okay, that's right.
The Hungarian driver, he's driving for Deep. We'll quickly cover him, actually. Let's quickly cover him, because he didn't get a chance to look at his livery earlier. I did put it on while you were talking, Keith, because I missed him out. But that is his livery. There you can go.
Yes,
green and black.
The Danica Patrick livery.
Danica Patrick livery. He's driving for DPG Motorsports as well, which is Danica Patrick Ghost... No, it's not really. It's Driven Paint Graphics Motorsports. And he's from Hungary. He's teaming up with Scott Stevens in that DPG Motorsports car. And he's looking pretty good, isn't he?
Yes, well, it's actually no longer the Danica skin. It's actually the James Hinchcliffe livery now.
Here we go.
Yeah, my fellow Canadian.
Again, it's always doing that.
Yeah, you know, there's quite a bit of power in these cars, and when their tires are cold,
look how congested it is in this pit lane.
Yeah.
Look at these guys coming out. It's unbelievable. Roding's there, stuck. Oh, Ripper decides. If you're going to go wide, I'll just nip through, and Van Dorn almost hits them as well. So, plenty of traffic here on this track. George Talbot had a solid run at Melbourne. He's 19th at the moment, but we're just showing that just a couple of tenths drops you way down the grid, doesn't it, Keith? If you're it's got Jesper Torborg on a 54.603. If you're on a 54.803, you're 17th.
It's unbelievable. The closeness between in the mid part of the field, and we saw this at the first round, where the first stint of that race, we were unbelievable racing. And if you watch the highlights video or even the whole broadcast, that was some of the greatest racing I've had the pleasure of covering. I think we're going to be seeing the same here today, and it is only it's more than likely going to be a one-stop race. I don't think anyone's going to attempt to strategize and do a two-stop race because the track's too short, track position's too valuable here, because overtaking is just simply difficult.
Just quickly as well, I mean, you know this, Ivo, it's quite a marginal track on fuel because of the length of the race and because of the type of corners you have with fast flowing corners, and you're on the throttle a long time. It's actually quite marginal on fuel. You do have to short shift a couple of times. Some drivers were telling me.
Yeah, the average speed is quite high here, so the fuel consumption is more than I think a lot of people expected before the practice and the race. So people need to look after that, really. Absolutely.
Ross McGregor goes 18th, so he improved 5 positions while we were watching him there as we were talking about fuel strategy. Tyre strategy, well, Levesque is in 15th as well. 15th position. Yeah, if he improves by 2/10, he goes 4th.
Yes.
He goes 5th,
and this is
goes 5th.
And this is our newly crowned champion from the Clio Euro Series and TouringProSeries as well. And he came off a really good run at Albert Park.
This lap. And Simon Ripper has just improved. There he's in 11th place. Well, the thing about Levesque as well, he's actually got a new setup at home, and for those drivers who switch from new setups from old setups to new setups, comfortable ones, to a new setup, despite the fact it would be better in the long run, it's quite difficult to get used to that. So I think Levesque is showing that here. He's struggling a little bit, and he's going to be mired down in the field if he doesn't improve by at least a couple of tenths. And Van Dorn is on a fast lap also as well.
Yeah, but he showed pace in pre-practice, so I think he's didn't have a perfect lap just yet. But
the pace here is fast and furious.
It is. This is very fast up at the front, and I know Toby really wants this pole. He wants to start up front. If you hop on board with him, I bet you he is pushing as hard as possible.
We've not done many on-board shots, have we? So let's go on board with a couple of these drivers.
That's a good shot because you get a reflection of the. Get a little bit of a reflection.
Nice chrome paint up there, painted by Hughes LaRose, who is in this race, and not improved Toby Davis. So he was still good enough for 3rd place. And the top 3 seem to be a league of their own at the moment, Keith.
They do, yes. They've got a fair gap, and I mean, when you're really talking, 0.15 of a second, that's not a huge gap. But when you're talking a track that's only 54 seconds long, it seems like a lifetime.
And purple still for the Van Dorn. This is where he messed up lap after lap last time. He was faster than through here last time around. Oh, he's just understeering a bit too much on the curb again. Got to use all the track. He's keeping his straight line. No.
Oh no!
Doesn't improve again. He just brakes a bit too late, I think, and. He was actually faster on the previous lap. He was faster than Strauss during the final sector, so he can do it. It's just a question of doing so. And Strauss is just sat there in pits, kind of waiting, I think, to see what happens. He has got 7 minutes left. That's plenty of time. He can get over 7 laps in that time, of course, on this particular track. So he's just waiting and watching and seeing what's happening and watching all these drivers wear themselves out, trying to get above him. And Toby Davis is one of those. Getting to the 3 for Toby Davis, so it's not. Oh, it's so close. It's almost tantalisingly close.
He's reaching for. Well, what seems like it's just one blink of an eye. That's what he's reaching for, and that would put him on pole ahead of Strauss, which is where he said he needs to be for a shot to win this race. He said he needs to be in front of Strauss.
And for people who aren't familiar with exactly how long a tenth of a second is, because it's nothing really. You never really deal in tenths of a second apart from in motor racing. That's pretty much it. Or maybe like speed skating or something. Or 100 metre sprint, that's about it. But a blink of a second takes 2/10 of a second. A blink of an eye takes 2/10 of a second. And so you're seeing 4th to 15th coloured by a blink of an eye.
That's,
And Ailey goes 4th. Ailey goes 4th.
Oh,
Toby Davis did a very solid lap there, Toby, actually. And he has improved. Not by enough. He's 0.026 behind. Oh, and Asbury goes 4th. So, drivers are closing the gap.
RoboCop Danny Asbury is
RoboCop
up
strikes.
RoboCop strikes. And the reason we call him RoboCop, if you can you see the...
Let's go around to the front of the car. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the front of the car.
It's the eyelids that make it look like that. The newly painted car with the new team logo, ATR Nocturne.
He's up as well. Oh, we all got so out of shape through there. Let's stay with him. Let's go on board.
Danny's my dark horse for this race. He asked me last night when we were talking. He said, "Who's your sleeper pick?" And I said, "I'm going to go with you, buddy."
I was watching him actually on race runs, but he's so aggressive, and I'm not confident he's going to keep those tyres together. So aggressive on the brakes. He's 0.29 down, but this could split. It's so close actually. But if he was 0.29 down, he wouldn't even improve his position.
No,
0.029, should I say? No, he's not improved. He's improved his time, but still stuck there. Look at that.
He's almost
getting kicked off now. Strauss is out on track, so he's had enough. Watching and waiting. Villa 10th.
Villa, that's a good improvement for him.
Talbot's still down at 11th.
Struggling.
Our 3-time TPS champion. Again, Van Dorn's quicker in that first sector than Florian Strauss. Seems to be a common thing. What Strauss got for the final sector? 54.6. So obviously that's just a side lap for him. Let's jump back to Van Dorn.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We're safe. Sorry, I got a little excited there.
And he's up by 0.07. This should be it. This should be it for the Belgian.
We're following
the 2010 Formula 4 Euro Cup champion.
Gonna do it.
Smooth.
Championship. That was beautiful on the corner.
So
That's
clean.
it. That was nice.
Down into the 2s.
Yes, he's there.
Done it.
Half a second. Stoffel Van Dorn.
Wow.
Takes pole position away from the reigning champion.
He took it by half a tenth.
Half a tenth. That's a huge amount.
That's huge. That's huge. That's a quarter of a blink of an eye.
And Toby Davis is still just feel it. Just trying. Get that pole position. 4 minutes to go.
4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes remaining. We're going to be running 61 laps here today too, so it's rough. 61 laps is going to be just under an hour overall race time.
What do you reckon Danny's philosophy is for this race, Keith?
I don't know. Just going to be making good. I think it's going to be.
You missed your cue, Keith.
Sorry, I was
going
reading.
to stay out of trouble.
So stay out of trouble.
Terrible. I tried to link in there. That was supposed to be seamless, but then everybody at home was supposed to be impressed, and they weren't. So we'll move on to Peter Carter, who is in 6th place at the moment. It's quite lonely actually out on track. It's quite empty for this particular track. He's not taking advantage of it though. He's still in 6th, second off, and we've got Nicky Dufresne back at 55.2, LaRose 55.1, Roding and Walsh and Young all in the 55. So those are really lagging behind at the moment. They need to improve quite considerably to be even contenders in this race, or even getting any points to stay in Server 1. Eric Tobias there in 18th, and he was a hair's breadth away from leaving Server 1, so he'd be quite pleased with that. Well, he's only 0.003 of a second ahead of Lothar, who's in 20th, so...
It's not much. I think the top 10 comparison after the race is going to be fun.
Can you just check, Keith, if a blink of an eye really is 0.2 of a second? Because it doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't. I know, I keep blinking and I was thinking about it too.
I was thinking, is that 0.2? Someone Google it.
Oh, Darborg to 5th.
Someone in the chat room Google it and let us know what exactly... and Torborg 5th, that's big news actually, sorry, we'll go into the actual action in terms of eyes and biology. Torborg 5th. That's actually a really good lap from Torborg, because I know he's been struggling with this track. He says he just cannot do this track at all. And last year he was not fast here at all.
1,000th of a second, Ryan.
1,000th? That's a blink of an eye? It's not 1,000th of a second.
At the end, that's what I've come up with. That's what I've come up with.
That is not true.
Yeah, there you go. The average length of a blink is 10 to 400 milliseconds. So, yeah, 1,000.
10 to 400? 4 milliseconds. That's 400 of a second. Okay, so we're talking rubbish. Apologies, we're talking rubbish. I was talking about the Christian Rock song.
No, jeez.
Because that's how you can listen to it for. Second! Yes, we're
Second for Jesper.
The
Iceman cometh! The Iceman cometh!
I don't like the track, says.
Yeah. Don't like this track. Yeah, I'm going to go second and beat Strauss by less than 1,000th of a second. That is less than a blink of an eye before. That is.
There you go. Now that we can actually use that analogy, because it is less than 1,000th of a second, because they are the exact same time on here. So he is half of a blink of an eye ahead of Florian Strauss at this point.
It's 100 milliseconds, which is 100th of a second. So that's more than 1,000th.
Talborg being the leader, if you go to TouringProSeries.com/Hall of Fame, he has 20 wins in 93 races.
In fact, he has 21 wins after today, because Mr. VR was adjudicated to have illegally gained his win at Sebring. So actually Talborg's on 21 wins.
Oh, okay. So he's 21 wins in 93 appearances. He has 14 poles out of 76 quali applications.
That's rubbish. I'm better than that.
Well, just imagine the amount he has 50 podiums in 93 race attempts. That just shows the consistency of the driver, and that's why we call him the Iceman.
So Van Dorn's in the pits. He's not going to go again. Talborg's in the pits. Not going to go again. 40 seconds to go. Strauss is out on track. He will get this lap and another lap. He will definitely get this lap. He's flashing to let somebody go past. Is that Eric Strani going past? That is Eric Strani going past. He's in 13th at the moment, he'll be pleased with that. Sorry we've not focused much down the grid, but it has been a very intense battle at the front of the field. And Strauss now starts his hot lap, so we're going to go on board with him. And this could possibly be the pole position lap. Otherwise, he's going to be on row 2, unfamiliar territory in the last 6 events for Florian Strauss to be on the second row.
He was 30 also last year, I believe, in qualification.
He was indeed. Oh, he's got out of shape big time. Is that going to cost? That's going to cost it. It's all gone.
Yep,
it's all gone.
It.
Strauss is second row. Toby Davis is out on track though, and he's just got another lap in, I think. Just.
Peter Kaas going to 6th.
Kaas is up to 6th. Yep. Bumping Ailey down.
That's phenomenal, really. That Kaas and Ailey are doing phenomenal jobs there with the 54.4, still in 6th and 7th. Way back on the grid. 3rd and 4th row, and Toby Davis is not going to improve either. Unfortunately, not going to see anybody topple Van Dorn. So Van Dorn, on his debut actually, in the Virtual V8 Supercars, because he missed the first event.
What does this remind you of?
Position. And I don't know, Keith, I can't think.
It reminds me of ATCC when he came in and just dominated.
Absolutely. So Stoffel Van Dorn, half a tenth of a second ahead of the rest of the field. So that's not really dominating, unfortunately, but it's definitely very, very impressive from the Belgian. Races in real life, races in the Formula Renault 2.0 Northern European Cup, and he is the favourite for that championship this year also as well. So look out for him coming to Formula 1 on a TV near you soon. Black Visor Motorsport cars just finishing their laps. Yeezy Rose there, crossing the line, number 41. So you can tell those two guys apart. Number 41 is LaRose, and number 46 is Ross McGregor. Both very good friends of Gary Lennon, of course. And Hughes did the skins for THR, so plenty of intermingling there. So now we're going to go into warm-up, and we'll be right back after this.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number 1 on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
So GamePod really is the choice of champions, and it would be the choice of Stoffel Van Dorn at the moment. A very intense qualifying session there, wasn't it, Ivo?
Very intense, very intense. It's really close, and I must say I didn't expect Van Dorn to be on pole, really. He has the fastest time in pre-practice, but I really expected Strauss to take the pole.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great to see Van Dorn on pole.
Oh, we didn't do a little polls here. Who was going to go on? Who do you think was going to be on pole, Keith?
I was actually predicting Toby. I thought he was going to take the pole because I knew how hard he worked at getting his lap down into the 2s, and I guess it was easier last night when he was tired than when he's all rested. So maybe next time he needs to be a little tired and a little groggy trying to do those fast laps.
So I tipped Toby for pole as well. We didn't cover that, and there was no cheating there because none of us won. And so we both got second row for our predictions. But the impressive performance there from Jesper. I know you'd say, second place on the grid, that's just normal for Jesper. But at this particular track, he really has not felt comfortable at all. And for him to produce a 2.99 is very impressive, I think.
That's really, really impressive. I must say, I didn't expect that he didn't like this track. It's a very smooth track, and it's make sure you take the lines and everything. And I think it's more Tarbo his style. So, but he did a great job. Really. Did
do a great job. So we've got Skizalta Racing there on pole position with Stoffel Van Dorn, Jesper Tolborg for THR Orange on the front row alongside him. Third place, Florian Strauss, 360 Racing, leading the championship at the moment. His teammates with Tobias Lemos back in 8th. Teammate 2, Jesper Tolborg, is Toby Davis for THR Orange. So we've got Holden, Ford, followed by a Ford, Danny Asbury, driving for ATR Nocturne. And just quickly talk about the rivalry between Danny Asbury and Toby Davis. They both respect each other, don't they, Keith? But there is a bit of needle there in terms of respecting each other's ability on track.
Oh, absolutely. And, they being short-lived teammates for round 1, they were in the same camp practicing together. And Toby's a proven race winner. He's put in his effort, and he's very close to winning championships, thrown them away.
We know how that feels, don't we, Keith?
Yes, I do.
We both know how that feels.
Yeah, and but Danny,
Sorry, Keith. I just like to think I threw it away.
Yes.
Probably had no chance, really.
It's the curse of being the administrator. So, but Danny, it feels like he has something to prove. That's and I get that.
Yes,
Danny's someone who didn't really, I talked with him late last night about this, and he didn't really, like kind of grow up around motorsports or racing or like being a big fan of racing. He started off with Forza, just racing on Forza, and he realized, it's just racing around on the track, and then he started really getting into it and started learning his craft from Forza into Race 07, racing some club races, ATCC, and here he is today competing with some of the world's best sim racers. I mean, it's a big transition.
I always feel it's a bit of a surreal feeling. I don't know about you, Keith.
Oh yeah,
to competing against Jesus. I'm like in 2010 when I was driving Virtual V8 Supercars, and on the occasional track where I was close to the grief, I was like, I'm close to grief.
Exactly.
It's a weird feeling, and Danny's obviously right up there with them. 6th place on the grid is Peter Carter for Torrent Motorsports, again the fastest Torrent Motorsports driver by a good distance, quite frankly. And Stephen DM is not here today, so maybe he would have helped out his teammate, but he's unfortunately absent for Torrent Motorsports IP Forge team. Tom Ailey right in behind his ATR Nocturne teammate. So look out for those. They've both got different liveries, but they are both driving for the same team, so don't be fooled by the liveries. Tobias Schlemo, 8th place, we mentioned him, his teammate Florian Strauss. He's actually started this season much better than he started 2010, and he almost won in 2011, should I say, and he almost won in 2011, so look out for him perhaps later in the year. Very good at his tyres also as well. Should have really won here, come second here, should I say, behind Crooks, last season. 9th place, Gary Lennon, great result for him, much better than Melbourne for TPS Racing. 10th place, Simon Ripper, the only XSG Motorsport representative here today. Unfortunately, Corey Slade, who was really very, very gutted about missing this event. And he loves the Virtual V8 Supercars, despite the fact he has to get up at 4:30 in the morning. That's dedication for you, and just shows how much drivers love racing in this series. Francisco VR for RPM Pussy Energy, 11th place. 12th place, Gregory de Grief, the best of the Black Rebels drivers. Teammate to you, of course, Ivo, and you know him very well.
Yeah, I know Gregory very well. He really is enjoying it. Of course, the V8 is his favorite series in real and in game. So, but he's enjoying himself. He knows he can't compete with the top guys. But
Ivo, that's a good thing you mentioning that, because Gregory took some time off from racing altogether because I guess lost the motivation and the enjoyment kind of had stepped out of it. To hear that he's enjoying himself is good, because that's how you can start to get that motivation and get himself back up to top form again.
So Sergei Yashin is in 13th place, the Israeli. I think he's got quite a Russian name, Sergei Yashin, but he's actually from Israel. So he's been quite solid, and he's quite ill as well as Sergei Yashin. So for those people who are watching for Sergei and rooting for him, he's very ill. So to be 13th in the field of 30 in this kind of caliber of drivers is very impressive indeed. I'm very impressed by Sergei's speed. And he dropped off a little bit in the Melbourne event where he qualified 8th. And we saw some of his attempted overtakes, didn't we, at turn 13, going straight on in his blue cat and turtle car. But he's very ill today, so it's great dedication to see him here also. So very glad for Sergei to be here. 14th place, that's a great performance there from Eric Strani. 15th place is William Levesque. That's very disappointing, isn't it, Keith? Very disappointing.
It is. Oh yeah. He's not going to be happy, but I do predict him. He's a very good racer. He's very, very good at keeping the car together. So I expect big things from him, and he's one to watch. But he would have really expected at least the top 5 here. I was expecting minimum top 10 out of him just because of the field, and he hasn't really shown.
He would expect top 5 in the race, wouldn't he? And then, but he's going to have 10 positions.
That's exactly it. It's not going to be an easy thing.
Before the event, meant, Ivo.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. 16th place, Kevin Brents, again the best of the 05 Motorsport drivers. Ross McGregor, 17th. 18th place, Eric Schweitz. Ross, a good debut for him. I think he was actually the fastest qualifier in the end from that, and he won in Server 2. So obviously he's pretty damn quick.
Yep, and Eric Tveit then?
So Tveit in 18th. 19th place is George Talbot. 20th place is Andreas Loeffler, teammate to Gregory de Grief. 21st is Mate Orban on his debut in Server 1. And he's not been driving rFactor for very long either, so there he is, just coming out pits there actually. It's a good time in there, Mate. 22nd place, Adrian Holm. 23rd, Ilya Bracalo for the second Torrent Motorsports team. Separate teams they are in terms of the championship, but of course under the same umbrella. 24th place, Tomasz Manizewski. 25th, David Young. 26th is Jeffrey Russell. 27th, Ike Rodin. 28th, Luke Walsh. 29th, Yeezer Rose. And 30th, Nicky DeFrey. So those 3 drivers finding it tough going in the top division at the moment. But let's look out for them to come forward during the race. Tips for the race, Keith?
Drive smart.
Drive smart.
Don't crash. Don't crash.
I gave you the cue again, and he still didn't do it.
I guess I'm off my marks today.
Dear me, you're not coming back. I'm not inviting you back. Sacked.
No, I think these guys need to be smart in the first few laps. It's key, especially to the guys who want to compete for a top 5, because a mistake early on in the first lap, 2 laps, you get off track and you're trying to rejoin on the track is short, and you got that field coming by.
You get freight trained.
You cannot just swerve into the traffic to keep your spot. If you make a mistake, keep your head cool and get yourself back on track safely and as quick as possible, because what's going to happen is if you lose 15 spots in the first 2 laps, your entire race is about getting those spots back.
Absolutely. And Strauss is actually practicing his start from the position where he will start. So I was quite interested now. I just went on to Swingman to see where exactly on the grid he was starting, practicing his start from. He was starting from his position, so that was quite a clever thing to do. And the grid is very tightly packed here, isn't it, Ivo? As you obviously know with your story earlier, but it's very tightly packed. I mean, on the actual grid itself.
Yeah, I think it's really going to be really close. We know Van Doorn is, of course, a great starter, and Toby is a great starter. Tarborg is maybe a medium starter.
Oh, well, Tarborg's been tardy
with his starts this season. Yeah, he's been plagued with poor starts all through Clio's.
Yeah, all through ATCC.
ATCC, yeah.
Both of them. Clio's, he was rubbish as well. Rubbish. I mean, he was not as good as you expected.
WTM as well, too. WTM,
I
wanted to make a highlight of
So there are the famous words. And everyone's going to join the grid. Oh, who was that getting on the grid that quickly? Was that? Looks like George Talbot, because he would be on that side of the grid, I think. And there is the grid forming up like magic. Look at that. It's clever, that. And we're watching back down the pit grid, and everyone is getting ready to drive in this event. So, the Virtual V8 Supercars Round 2 of 2012, sponsored by GamePod.co.uk, wheels, race rigs, and seats, and wheel stands also as well, and plenty more besides. Very nice.
The lights are going out, time is up.
Yep, and we're going to go off on our formation lap. Tips, guys. We've got to have the tips this time around. We can't have the tips after the race this time. Let's tip. Who's going to get to the first corner first? Let's go with that.
Van Doorn. Take the easy one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You know what? I was gonna go with Van Doorn just because I've seen his starts. If you've ever go to our YouTube page, watch the ATCC intro video. He goes from 8th to 1st before the first corner at Nürburgring GP in the wet in a rear-wheel drive car. So yeah, Van Doorn. That's a lock.
Okay, so Van Doorn is. I'm going to tip Van Doorn as well. He's on the inside for the first corner, and he's a good starter, and it's quite difficult for anybody to get past in that first corner. Now, for the race win though, bit trickier.
Strauss.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think the experience maybe.
You're going for Strauss winning 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Keith?
I'm gonna go with Davis.
Okay.
Davis.
Why?
I think he's motivated enough. If he doesn't mess up early on, I think he'll be able to get the win. I just think he's got it. I think he's got the right state of mind. I talked with him a fair bit last night, and I think he's ready to get this win and pop his cherry here in the.
Everyone needs to get the brakes here. A bit of a pile up there with Mr. Ruskus back there.
And cars be backed up right around the corner.
Absolutely.
Lined up around the corner. So.
And the drivers are now going onto the grid within their final starts. I'm going to go for Strauss, simply because I don't think Van Doorn's quite got the experience with these tyres, which are critical. I think it was actually Talbot actually got caught up there. I'm going with Strauss because he's got speed and the experience, and I just don't think Van Doorn's got quite the experience with the tyres. But we are about to find out. The grid is forming up.
Oh, this is the exciting part.
It is the exciting part. On board with Van Doorn, looking for the lights. On your left-hand side, you can see them there. Waiting for everyone to form up, of course. And it can take quite a while sometimes. People find it very difficult to park in their grid stops for some strange reasons sometimes.
Big red square.
The big red square, and people find it quite difficult to line their cars up for some reason. They can drive around the track at 200 kilometres an hour, but round a corner, but they can't line the cars up in stationary position. And they are still waiting.
I'm looking through the field here. I don't see anyone moving.
No.
So
We'll be okay.
Got yourselves out.
Let's see. We're just well.
Here we go.
The
lights are now on. Red lights are on. Watch for the green. And the red lights are out. Away from the green we go. Great jump.
Davis got a great start.
Initially, great jump.
Cars everywhere!
Yes, cars everywhere at the back. Someone stalled. People on the grass. Who is that? Van Dorn leads in the first corner. We'll leave that for a second.
Oh, it was Roding in LaRose. Roding in LaRose in the background. Roding in LaRose. And Levesque. Levesque is out.
Levesque. He's in the wall. He's hit the Marshall Tower. What on earth happened? Let's go back to the replay. On board with Levesque. Oh, there's carnage everywhere. It's Asbury. I think it's Asbury to get going. Oh, who is that? I can't quite see. There's such a I think it might be Asbury. Or maybe it's Asbury going to the back of the car, so I can't tell from that.
Asbury
but it's carnage everywhere.
And like we predicted, Van Dorn's leading, and he's out front clean early on.
We're now back live with the action. And, who's that going up? Where is he going? That's the Rose. I think he's out of the race already. That's it. He's out.
Oh.
Yves the Rose. And Danny Asbury. Asbury's out. Asbury's out of the race. It was Asbury on the grid who got hit.
He escaped.
Oh no, he's going to be
he's so
devastated.
gutted. But back to the action. Van Dorn is leading by 0.4 of a second for Toby Davis. Toby Davis up to second. He's Jesper Tolbert with a good jump. Sorry, I was talking rubbish. Because obviously Jesper Tolbert was on the front row alongside Van Dorn. We both got the same skin, and I get all excited. Van Dorn in first. Davis in second. Look at how he's pressuring the Belgian. Third place is Jesper Tolbert. Fourth place is Florian Strauss. He's dropped back a little bit.
Oh, look at Toby's all over the
going for it. Toby's going for it. No, not quite. Deciding to drop back a little bit. Back over the game pod wing. Oh, it's a good exit here from Toby. Gets a nice middle apex. He's got the slipstream. Will he go for it? Yes or no, guys? Will he go for it?
No. Early on, he wants to get by early.
Is it yes or no, guys? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, little indecisive. Yashin pits.
You of course watched
Yashin. Okay.
Look at this.
Yashin out the pits. He's going right in. The leaders.
Oh no! Who's that? Strauss. Strauss is trying to get by Tolbert very early on. He needs to get by.
Schlemer, great start. Yeah, good call, Ivo. As the cars come streaming through over the Craig Lowndes curve, as I like to call it, round turn 3 and turn 4. Through turn 5, still Davis is putting the pressure on. Let's follow this battle for now. Looking back at the English driver, sorry, should I say, he doesn't like being old British. The English driver, 40HR Orange, getting a beautiful apex there, but not quite getting the exit. Van Dorn, very different lines you can see as well. Van Dorn on the grass. This might give Toby the run. Yes or no, guys?
I don't know. He's looking down the inside.
Yes or no?
It's a hard. I can't even say yes or no. I know he wants to.
Oh, he's just got out of shape. I thought it was going to be it. Van Dorn was slow out the final corner. Davis is applying the pressure. Side by side. Van Dorn's not giving way.
I think he's going to cross. Is he going to cross? No, not quite.
He's trying. No, not going to happen.
This is intense pressure. Home into the pits. Long pit stop. Ended up repairing damage.
Oh, there's huge damage. Someone stalled on the grid. And I think it must have been Asbury, because he got T-boned by the rest of the field. And like we were saying, Ivo, it's a very tightly packed grid, isn't it? And you can't get out of the way.
Oh, look at
Strauss knows the pressure from Schlemer.
A little bit loose. This is something else to see Strauss, under attack and trying to make moves.
Ripper up the inside of Carson. That was close. Sorry to interrupt Keith, but that was so close. Ripper was sideways, locked up, going into the corner. Let's go on board with Carson. Watch that back. He tried to dive down the inside, and he was so sideways. Look at that!
Little contact. At least they carried on. At least they carried on nice and clean.
They did. Oh, and Davis at the front! Has he gone for it? No, he hasn't.
I think it's a matter of time.
It's looking like, isn't he? He's looking aggressive. And Van Dorn's using all the track and more.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Van Dorn's going to keep the car under him, because with this kind of pressure that Davis is putting on, Davis can kind of, push when he needs to, but Van Dorn has to push to keep him behind, because this is menacing. This is menacing.
And for once, actually, Toby Davis looks smoother of the drivers out on track.
That's why he's my pick, man. I'm telling you, he's my pick.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you.
And the Grief is up to 8 already.
Oh, wow.
12.
Great start there from De Grief. And there's a great battle here, actually, between Carter, Ripper, and De Grief. Look at these guys coming over the crest. I love that shot.
Beautiful.
As they come over the crest and down the hill. And Strana, great start for him, up to 10th. He's got plenty of winners and losers, of course.
Oh, Holm is coming out of the pits again, and he's right in the midst of this battle here.
Oh, he's come out right in front of Schlemer, it looks like to me. Here are the winners and losers. Sorry, we'll get back to that in a second. Toby Davis up 2 positions, with Torborg and Strauss losing 1 each. Schlemer up 3, great start for him. Ripper up 3. De Grief up 4. And we've got Strana there at 4 also. Tveit up 7. Great start to the race for him. Lowflet up 6 also as well. He'll be pleased with that. The big loser, Gary Lennon, down 14. If there's trouble, Gary Lennon will find it.
Oh, I think he was involved.
Well.
I think he was involved in that little incident. Maybe he.
Incident?
We'll know. We're going to know from the highlight video later on. I'm going to watch the replay myself. But it could have been Gary might have been a catalyst in it because he was away up the field. Maybe Danny got into the back, stalled at something. It was ugly. Oh, Ripper down the inside.
No, Ripper. That's Brent.
Oh no,
and he's straight off the track. Fastest lap, Florian Strauss. So he's getting his act together. Straight off as Brent as well. Straight to the gravel he goes. He's lost. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 3 positions there.
Yeah.
Now he's just in front of Mate Orban. So the big losers have been people like. It's actually Yashin. The big losers have been Roding, Levesque, Yashin, Holm, LaRose, and Asbury, with the race being ended for both LaRose and Asbury, and basically just a Sunday drive now for Asbury and Holm, just trying to finish the race and get some points. Yashin also. Poor blokes. Not able to compete here today, obviously, now. Back to the front of the field, and Van Dorn is ever so slightly pulling away from Toby Davis, but not by enough. Pressure isn't quite as intense as it was. Oh, it will be now, though! On the curve.
Van Dorn wide, defensive, right down the inside. Oh, man, Davis.
Beautiful driving.
Davis doesn't want to wait. He doesn't want to give him a chance. He doesn't want to let him lead. He wants to be the guy setting the pace, and this is what I was thinking. I thought, if he can get out front, I think he can set the tone and just take this win. He is in the right mind state. He's showing how bad he wants this.
Absolutely. His line's looking beautiful as well. Beautiful line there from Van Dorn, actually. Narrower line, but it actually worked that time around. But it's a higher risk line, isn't it? That particular narrower line, Ivo.
Yeah, you can hit the curb there, and then it unsettles the car, and he runs you wide on the grass, and then you start losing time a lot. So,
absolutely. Yes, Torborg and Strauss 2 seconds behind this battle. So this battle, despite the fact they're battling hard, is very, very intense, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not really pulling away, Davis. So,
well, it's 2 seconds. They're 2 seconds ahead of this battle. Look at the gap between Torborg and Strauss.
Yeah,
it's not small. This particular track, anyway. After just 9 laps. Oh, look at the pressure Davis putting on Van Dorn. This is beautiful pressure.
I think it's just a matter of time.
Well, we said this 4 laps ago, and it still hasn't happened.
Yeah, but Davis knows of course, ATCC. Don't let Stoffel drive away. So you need to push him from the beginning hard. So.
And he is pushing Van Dorn very hard. Van Dorn's soaking up the pressure very well, though. Not seeing Van Dorn make a mistake. Maybe a couple of missed apexes here and there. Not perfect apexes, but not made an actual error as of yet. And we are on to the 9th lap. Van Dorn's line through there is very, very good. Gets a great exit. Power his tyres holding up, of course.
Strauss really wants to get by Talberg.
He's not putting under enough pressure, though. I mean, look at Davis' pressure. He can't get past Van Dorn. And Torborg, Strauss isn't putting the same pressure on Torborg. Really, he's not been held that much.
De Grief is having an incredible run, up to 8. That's excellent for him. He's going to be very happy.
He will be very happy indeed. Schlemo there, bit of a lonely. That's lonely for Barbagallo, by the way, guys. That's lonely for Barbagallo. 1 second either side of you is very comfortable. It's nice and serene. Carcer there is in 6th. He's got Ripper in behind him. Seen those two have a great battle together. Ripper had a great start to this race, much better than his start at Melbourne, where he dropped back to Carcer on the grass, losing plenty of time there to his New Zealand rival, his Australian rival, Gregory de Grief.
Oh, Davis
right behind. Davis is leading.
No, sorry, my mistake.
Davis is not leading. Once again, Mr. Barrick getting excited. And here's a good battle. Ailey, Strani, Tveit, VR just in behind as well.
I'm going to see if I can get Danny to join us just for a moment. I would really like to know.
Yes, I would like to know
what had happened. If Danny, I know you're watching. If you can join us in the booth here at some point, I'll send him a message. But I just want to get an idea because we didn't really get a chance to see all of it happen there.
Danny was furthest forward of all on the grid of all the drivers who were involved. So it must have been him that stalled, because he couldn't have hit another driver that stalled because he was ahead of them all. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, it was ahead, and then he stalled, and then some guys who ran into him, and then he escaped.
That's that. Oh, to right wide, and that's all. Home of course is not in this battle. I thought there was an extra car in there. Oh, Mike says, that's what I think of. Right, get out of my way, you lapped car. Wasn't amused by that at all. Jesper Torborg is still 0.6 of a second ahead of Strauss. It's all very calm for the Virtual V8 Supercars. Not much action happening home out wide as well. Not much point in him pushing too hard, really. He's out there for fun, really, just to pick up some points. Loeffler is leading McGregor by just 0.2 of a second. There is McGregor. There is Brent also as well. We saw Brent trying to pass VR earlier. Dropped 3 positions as a result. George Talbot is right behind. So that's the 05 Motorsport umbrella. And is that Mr. Danny Asbury? It is Mr. Danny Asbury.
It is.
Hi, Danny. Just explain to us what happened after the break, because we couldn't quite see exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't look too good on the broadcast there, but I just got a little confused at the start. Florian was right in front of me. He reversed back. Just trying to make sure he got into a stall. And I don't know, I kind of tried to reverse at the last second. Before you know it, the lights went green, and I was going backwards.
Oh, you were so reversed.
Danny, focus.
Yes. This was a big blunder on my part. Really no one to blame, just utter stupidity.
Well, no one to blame but yourself.
Yes. I can't argue against that one.
No, but that's unlucky, Danny. It just shows that's small lapse of concentration, and it costs you.
Yes, very much. I just hit the wrong paddle, and that was that. The worst part about that is that I actually collected Tom and stalled him up quite a bit.
Oh, collected half the field.
Half the field. So you might have to answer some angry PMs a little later.
I'm glad to do some damage control after this one.
You took out Yves, you took out yourself, took out Holm, Broding, Levesque, Yashin.
I think that you should write an article. You should write an article about it for the TPS Weekly, Danny.
I'll work something up.
For those, he's gonna have. Can I write the article, please, Danny? Oh, down the inside!
Oh no!
Where did Brent go? Have we got a replay? No. Brent's disconnected just as he was.
Oh no!
You're joking
me. Brent's just disconnected as he was going down the inside.
Passing both of those guys.
Oh, that is so heartbreaking for him.
Oh,
he goes down the inside to make a move, and he disconnects.
Anyway, back to the front of the field.
How did Loeffler win then?
I think he was by himself. We can watch a replay, can't we? Sorry, that's been a bit slow there.
Maybe he went from third to second.
There is the recovery. Yeah, all by himself, look.
No, I think it's because you look here.
Look, all by himself.
So Brent is on the inside, and he...
McGregor hits him, look. McGregor hits him. Because he was trying to give room to Brent. McGregor hits him, Loeffler spins, Brent disconnects, McGregor hits Loeffler. They both get going again, eventually. Andreas! Look at that rejoin! Andreas. Matizevsky has to dodge him, Lennon has to dodge it. Swerving across the track as well.
And we've lost Sergei Yashin too. Sergei Yashin is DNF. Kevin Brent is out. Yves LaRose and Danny Asbury are.
Remember, Yashin was very, very ill as well, so to him to have that problem at the start of the race must have been absolutely heartbreaking.
Yes.
So plenty of... we are now back live.
Back live. Yeah.
I think we're now back live. We are.
And up front, it's fairly lonely. They've gapped out a little bit.
Half a second is low. 0.4 of a second. Davis deciding he's going to keep... But Van Dorn and Davis are now not pulling away from Torborg and Strauss. I wonder if Van Dorn's tyres are just starting to go off, because the third and fourth places were 2.2 and 2.6 seconds behind. Now they're 1.7 and 2.4, so... Signs, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe they asked a little bit too much of the tyres, of course. Of course, Van Dorn doesn't know how the tyres
Holm into the pits again. Holm is into the pits again for I think this is his 4th pit stop. Oh, he's not going to please. After clawing his way back up into Division 1, a really good talent, just not having a good event.
And Alien Strauss in a titanic battle here. These two, very close.
Haley and
Great
Strani,
performance from Strani in this season. He's really, really stepped up. I mean, nobody expected him to be even in the top 30 in pre-qualification. And he's been very, very fast here at Melbourne and at Barbagallo. Here at Barbagallo and Melbourne.
Yes, yeah, and he's been kind of hounding the back of Haley for the past few laps, and I think
I'm sure Tom's enjoying that.
Oh, I know, yeah. after RoboCop gets into him at the start of the race.
Of course, because Haley started right behind.
He did, yeah. I feel really bad. I feel really bad for Danny because I know how bad he wanted to do well here.
I don't feel bad for Danny.
Oh, Straighty? No.
Just nosing in there. Let him know he's there. I'm here. I'm not going away.
In reverse for the start of the race.
Yes.
At Barbagallo.
That's going to go down TPS folklore, I'm afraid, Danny.
It is. This day in TPS history. Which driver started the race
in reverse?
And
I laugh, but it's serious because some guys were affected very, very badly by this, and they've been preparing for 2 weeks, and not Lace himself, of course, but other people have worked very, very hard to get themselves, midfield, because he was fifth in the grid, so I mean he had half the field behind him on that side of the grid, so it's a mistake. It's heart-wrenching for those guys who put all the effort in.
Yeah, no, it is a mistake. Oh, and Van Dorn a little wide in turn one. Davis is looking. Yeah, Van Dorn went seemed to lock the brakes up on entry, but he seemed to carry a bit more speed out. But
they pulled away from Torberg and Strauss again.
Yeah, it looks to me like Van Dorn is very on the edge, where Toby's kind of.
You're saying?
Yeah. I guess I'm just watching from my screen here, but it looks like Van Dorn locks up again going into this corner. And Davis takes a nice wide. I think Davis is driving a conservation line because he doesn't seem to be locking up going into the corners.
Driving very straight, isn't he? I'm very impressed. He's driving a V8 Supercar like it should be driven. You know all about it, Sibo. You watch the real V8 Supercars, and they're like, oh, Van Dorn!
Again, it's every corner. It's been the past lap and a half. He's been doing this.
But you have to drive these cars very straight, don't you, Eva, to conserve those tyres because they're such heavy cars.
Yeah, just like I said, in the quali and the race...
Davis sideways!
It's like drifting it.
I know.
Sorry, Evo, try to finish the point without Keith shouting over you.
like I said, qualification and race is different. You need to drive the car different. In the quali you can get away with a little bit of drifting, but in the race you really can't do that.
Absolutely not, and conserving that rear left tyre out of this corner, the Espentor is just coming up to now and come out. Oh, and Strauss on the brakes! Hello! Out of this corner is where drivers have been complaining about their rear left tyre spinning up and heating up, and therefore Ross McGregor's going to go for a two pit stop, it seems to me.
Well, so he did get clipped early on. Eric Tveit is past Vilar for the 11th position, and Vilar is not not letting him rest at all. To Eric Tveit, a young gun in TouringProSeries.
VR looks inside, not space there, VR. And Tveit just very good job to get the car stopped for that on that such a tight line. Oh, Vilar! Both almost disappear into the infield where Levesque ended up earlier. Strani still pressurising Ailey, so hello. The young Scandinavians are pressuring the old elite.
I think if it goes around 8 laps with Toby and Van Dorn in the front, I think Toby will do the undercut there.
Yeah, perhaps maybe do one lap, or maybe he chances that Van Dorn doesn't do the undercut on him.
Yeah, I think 28 is maybe too.
Oh, Ailey's deep.
From 29, the undercut can work.
But also though, the other thing that comes into play here is the fact that there's so many cars on the short track. If you come out fresh rubber in hand, and you end up in a battle with cars that are running, say, a second, 1.2, 1.5 seconds slower a lap than you could end up actually hurting yourself. So I guess we're going to see what's going to happen here shortly, because pit stops will be approaching.
Absolutely, and the field is still so tightly packed. I mean, you're seeing 5 seconds cover the top 6. So I mean, if you do a pit stop, you're going to come out. If you do a pit stop right now, you come out around about 20th position. Jumped into the pits as well, so he's going for a 2-stop strategy, it seems, also. Which doesn't seem to me like it would work at all. You can't really gain enough time over those extra 10 laps to get those 30 seconds back.
Yeah. No.
And that's the wrong strategy, quite frankly, for me. Maybe it's the right strategy for them, because they can't keep their tyres together and they may puncture. But Matti Orban also on that 2-stop strategy, and is that McGregor has done a small undercut on these guys, so where's McGregor going to come out relative to those guys? There's Mathieu Aubin rejoining, and there is Yunt rejoining as well, and McGregor's past Yunt, so I think that's position actually gained for McGregor and Aubin wide. Of course, Aubin's been lapped, of course, that's let everyone through, and that allows McGregor to gain even more. And the hot tyres, the grass, and down the inside. That's how you put the car.
That's how you do it.
Aubin lets him through almost. I wonder if McGregor thought he was still another car to lap him. Either way, McGregor's profited from that.
Wheeler has gotten by Eric Veit, or what is now 10th position.
Who's going to the pits? I can't tell who that is. Who's going to the pits? No, Sammy Ripper's into the pits, so he's gone for 2-stop as well. That's unusual.
So, okay, I guess we're incorrect then about this strategy then.
Well, I don't think it works.
In my opinion, but
you've got 20 laps to make up 30 seconds, basically. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And you've got to be 1.5 seconds a lap faster than you were. It's not going to happen. So we've got Ripper. Looks like maybe Walsh. I didn't quite catch where Walsh was in there. I think Roding is way back because of the first lap incident. So definitely got Ripper, McGregor, Aubin, Yunt and Hulme. Well, of course, Hulme is way off the race, but Yunt, Aubin, McGregor, and Ripper trying the 2-stop strategy. Definitely for now. But leader of the race, still Stoffel Van Dorn. He's not done a 2-stop strategy.
Nope.
Open up a gap on Toby Davis, 0.6 of a second. And this is very, very close indeed.
So Florian's...
yes, we're gaining 1.8 seconds of these guys, and Florian Strauss is 1.3 seconds off him.
Didn't we saw this at Albert Park?
Yeah,
but it was Talbot over...
Oh, Strauss!
Oh, Strauss!
The infield! He's in the wall! Stop it just before the Marshall Tower. That is a slip of concentration. That is a slip of concentration, nothing more. And he's lost himself 3 positions as a result.
I never would have guessed that would have come out of Florian.
That's race over.
Let's see a replay of that. Let's see where he, obviously we know what happened.
See the jump he did down the banking as well.
He just he was already loose coming out, and as the car was going to slide,
it just snapped on him.
Just nipped that.
Bit of a launcher as well.
This is championship changing to early on, obviously 10 races this season, but that's big. That's the first real slip up we've seen from Florian in 6 rounds.
It just snapped on him, didn't it? Like he caught it and just snapped on him at the last second. Back live now. He's back to 6th. Gregory did grief.
We have lost Sergei Yashin as well too.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier.
Oh, sorry.
I mentioned how ill he was and how he had struggled to even make this event, and the poor bloke gets that happen to him at the start of the race. So it never rains but it pours for poor Sergei. And Carter has put in Tobias Stamo into some serious pressure here. The problem is from Ross McGregor, of course. He's come out of the pits and he's stuck in behind these lap cars. For the people who are further down the field than have pitted, that's the added we didn't mention before. You've been lapped, so you actually can't. You're going faster than these guys here on worn tyres, but you can't get past them.
Levesque is making his way back through the field. He's up to 15th now.
Just went by. A lot of people have pitted.
Barbagallo just went by.
Lennon has pitted as well, it seems like to me. Yes, Lennon did pit because I saw him come out ahead of Strauss actually. Or Strauss came out of the pits.
Okay,
not sure what strategy Lennon's on then, because lap 24, so that's a bit of a halfway house.
I now have live racers back up, and it shows Simon Ripper's pitted 4 times. I don't know if that's correct.
No, I don't think it's not correct. I think this particular track likes to give lots of extra pit stops.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we saw Strauss being dropped by those guys, and I think maybe just trying a bit too hard. Because he saw himself being dropped, had to push, and of course that happened.
Yeah, just going over the limit a little bit, maybe. Like you said, you need to push a little.
Wide from Schlemo.
Those things happen, so.
They do, yeah. Sorry, Ivo, carry on.
No, there wasn't.
Oh, you finished. My apologies. And Ross McGregor looking down the inside of cars, but he can't really make a move because he's a lap behind. So he's really ruined his afternoon, really, that particular strategy. Going back a lap down, and Carstens looks like he's stronger than Schlemo at this point in the race. Talbot 1.7 seconds behind the leader. This is as close as he's been since really the start of the race. Van Dorn looked a bit deeper there.
Talborg, Davis, and Van Dorn are all lapping in the high 54s. Toby having the quickest lap the last. They're lapping in the 55s
now.
The high 55s. Van Dorn is the slowest of the 3 at a 56.0, with Talborg doing a 55.8 last lap. So
we're going to 56.3 on plug-in on so everyone can see here for Van Dorn.
Oh, okay, yeah, that it just was waiting to refresh here. So
Yeah. A few seconds
Short
behind,
track.
of course. Yeah, a few seconds behind, of course, as well. So the times are dropping off quite a lot. They've dropped off 1.5 seconds. Yeah, around about that, 1.5 seconds. And that's the time you need to make up on with that two-stroke strategy. So that's not going to happen. Basically, Van Dorn, deep, managed to get it sorted out eventually. That's what I love watching about Van Dorn. Even if he makes a mistake, he always gets it sorted out mid-corner.
yes,
The drivers drive straight off the track or lose a second.
DeGrief is trying to make a move by Strauss. Seventh place. DeGrief
Oh,
is down
here we
the
go.
inside. Strauss went a little
2010
wide.
2011 champion, side by side down the Barbagallo straight. Is DeGrief going to make the move down the inside? No, he's not. Belgian tucks in behind. Strauss is wide though. It's going to be
He's wide.
It's going to be
Oh,
DeGrief's
he's done
position.
it. He's done it. Book it.
Oh, sorry, wait, there we go. Looking back
DeGrief
from DeGrief. There is Strauss.
Into sixth. And there's a lap car. Ike Roding's just ahead of them.
Yeah, Ike gets out the way. Great driving from there from Ike. Great move there from Gregory, wasn't it? That's what
Very robust move.
So-
He was committed and he just kept pushing it.
Yep.
Oh, we won't see the start of the move, unfortunately. But he got a much better exit out the cold corner, didn't he, Keith?
He did, yeah. That's what I was watching when they were coming through because Strauss had actually gone wide. So he made a really he just committed to keeping the pressure on him and forced Florian into a little bit of a mistake.
Yep. Florian's under pressure.
If people are watching the real V8 Supercars, a lot of drivers also do that. Just go to the inside and let the other guy run right over the curb, and they take the position. Very easy always.
Sorry to interrupt.
He is right on David.
0.8. How is Tobias Schlemo so quick? What's happened? Why are these drivers so close together again? 1.6 seconds to Schlemo. There was 5 seconds. What's happening?
Lennon's got fresh tires and just went by Casa, and now Lennon's closing in on the leaders up here, and he's got
How
way
is
more
Schlemo
pace.
so close? What? Oh, but off! Oh, he's not off. Sorry. Calm down.
I see Davis and Tamo pitting. This lap, I think.
Yeah, we've got.
They're not sharing pit spots, so they
This
both
is
can
very
go
hairy.
in.
If you look, the car that's making that move is Gary Lennon, who is is laps down, but he's got new
Oh,
tires
Davis
on.
wide.
See, this is
He's
the
very
problem
wide.
with a two-stop strategy.
Lennon's pushing him along.
Lennon's like Lennon. Oh, Lennon and Schlemo.
Oh, Carson's going to pass him as a result. Oh, he's going cars went everywhere. And cones.
Lennon-
Disappearing the poor cones. Got the
And McGregor. Oh, who's that off in front? Oh, Davis is off. Davis was off.
Oh,
Davis
went
went
off there to Slame as well.
Everyone's into the pit.
Watch his
Tolbert
replay.
and Davis. Oh no.
So, here we go. We're going to see a full
Davis.
battle here. So Davis goes out of shape, blocks everybody. Oh, Lennon gets pushed across. Schlemo doesn't like that either. Now Davis into the pits. There goes the cones in the background as well. Poor cones.
Oh, Davis.
And look at Davis.
Oh, he spun.
I think he downshifted one too many gears. That's what I think happened there.
Oh,
and Davis,
contact Schlemo.
look at when he came into the pits. He actually had to go around his teammate Thalberg because he was trying to line up down the inside, and he lost time. Thalberg's ahead.
So here we are, back with live. No, Davis is ahead. Davis is come out ahead.
Oh no! How did
Thalberg
Thalberg?
was 16 seconds and Davis was 12 seconds pit stop.
This is madness. This is madness. So now we're going to see Casa's being is very slippery, just kind of flying under the radar. Casa into the pits, Van Dorn into the pits.
Okay, so let's watch this. These guys might actually, even though it's not an undercut, they might actually. DeGrief leads, by the way, doing his old long tyre strategy thing. Strauss into the pits also as well. So Van Dorn casts Strauss into the pits. Strana carries on.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly figure out what happened there. There was some reason that the whole top 5 close together, incredibly close. There was 5 seconds between them. Then suddenly there was 1.6. Didn't quite understand that. And there comes Van Dorn. Where are the THR drivers?
Here we go.
Diamond River carries on through. So Casa and Strauss is in the pits as well.
Here comes Toby now. He's going to have fresh tyres and warm tyres. Van Dorn's going to be cold tyres.
Not quite.
Let's
yet.
watch this. It's going to be close over the next lap. Davis has to push right now.
But
That's the only pit stop.
Again, the if question. If you just put it in the normal in left, just didn't spin and was right in the bumper of Van Dorn and then pitted, he was in front of him.
Yep, those small things.
Schlemo is now behind Loeffler, and he's going to be trying to get by him. Loeffler's kind of wedged himself in between, but Casa just being very silent, very sneaky. He's taking advantage of all of these little things. Net third after all this.
And there's Tolberg right behind him. So Davis and Van Dorn very close together.
DeGrief De Grief, Strani, Talbot, Vilar, Ruskus, everyone ahead of them are now into the pits, and Van Dorn and Davis are coming by to regain the lead. And look at how close he is, Davis. He's looking down the inside.
He's squeezing. Contact. Van Dorn keeps it very close, trying not to leave any room, and it just works in the end. Great driving. Now up towards turn 3. Into turn 4, the only left-hander on this track. And Davis is putting the pressure on this. We're going to watch that on the replay in a second, guys. Just follow this through to see whether he makes a pass this time around. Not going to happen, I don't think, through turn 5 down towards turn 6. Quickly watch the replay.
Oh, see, they're just a car length.
Here we go.
On the game pod wing.
Look how close on the game pod wing. Looking at how close Toby Davis got to taking the lead of this race. Tried to squeeze down there. Stoffel was having none of it.
Ripper, of course, leads now, but he, of course, needs to pit one time.
He's on a two-stopper.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So he leads the race at the moment.
Davis is menacing Van Dorn right now. Davis seems to be better when there's fuel in the car. That's what it seems like to me, because this is the same thing that happened at the start of the race. He was all over the back of Van Dorn, and then slowly they just kind of equaled out. So Davis needs to make the move now. He's got to get the lead and try to gap a little bit and not make any mistakes. Like, he's very, very fortunate at this point to be where he is after losing it going into the final corner when he was going to pit. Very fortunate. So
I think he had to get out of a free card in his pocket there somewhere.
Yes, he did, and you only get one a season.
Oh, this is a good run.
Oh, it was pushed a bit too hard that time around, didn't it? And had to get out the throttle. And if you push too hard there and actually get a proper wheel on the grass, you spin basically, and that's your chance over. So better just to rein it back in at that particular point and go for it again.
So championship leader Strauss is in 8th, behind De Grief, who has pitted.
Yep, they're both pitted. And De Grief went longer, so he's actually got better tyres than Strauss now. De Grief went two laps, I think, longer than Strauss. So that's interesting, maybe 1 lap longer. But before the pit stops, let's reset it for you guys. Before the pit stops, Strauss is in 7th really, because Ripper obviously has to pit. We'll discount Ripper for now. Before the pit stops, it was Van Dorn, Davis, Tolborg, Schlemo, Carser, De Grief, Strauss. That was your top 6.
Yes.
You now see how it's changed. Van Dorn and Davis are still 1st and 2nd, but Carser has jumped up from 5th up to 3rd. He's gained 3 seconds in that pit stop exchange, basically, because now Schlem was 3.2 seconds behind him when Schlem was right in front of him. But I'm curious to know, Keith, exactly how did Schlemo get 1.6 seconds behind Van Dorn when there was 5 seconds between the whole group? I just didn't understand that. Was it lap cars? It wasn't Lennon, because Lennon was coming through rather than ahead of Van Dorn and then dropping back.
It's very difficult to tell, Ryan. I mean,
answers in the postcard please, or answers in the chat room would be nice.
Yeah, it could be any number of things, and do you think they're going to close up again? That's what I'm wondering, because the gaps were from Schlemo
to 3 seconds though now back from 2nd and 3rd to Carser, and Carser's holding up Tolborg, I think. Yeah,
Tolborg has a nice big dent in his rear bumper if you go on Swingman and look at the back.
Does he now?
Yes,
quick look at that while we're there.
Right on his game pod bumper, you can actually see it.
Oh, yep.
Nice push
Then
in there.
our nice game pod logo.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually very pleased about that. We'll send you the bill, Esper.
Yeah, we'll send you the bill.
But Van Dorn is just 0.1 of a second ahead of Toby Davis, and this is race for the win. Discount Simon Ripper, he still has to pit, so he will drop back to around 12th and 13th.
Yeah, and they're closing in on him hand over fist right now. If I had the time, let me just quickly look here. Ripper last lap was at a 55-1. So these guys are just closing hand over fist right now. They're doing that in the 54s right now.
Ripper's and Davis out of shape, lost himself half a second there.
Well,
look at the different lines there. Actually, you can see that there's a tighter entry from Toby Davis and a wider line from Van Dorn.
You really can see it also in the ball in this corner.
Yes, you can. We'll watch. Actually, quickly go on board. There we go. That was quick work.
Way wide.
Yeah,
there's different lines.
And you think, Davis is close, but then, of course.
Look at him pull away now. Look at him. He's scapping quite a bit there from the game pod wing.
Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. And
it looks like he's changed.
It's intriguing.
Strauss got past the Grief one.
I can't see. Strauss what? Sorry. Got past the Grief. Yes, you are correct. So we've missed that, unfortunately. And he's got 1.2 second gap over De Grief now as well. Last time he fought. Go ahead.
So what's happened to Vilar? Vilar's back in 13th.
He's dropped 3 positions, hasn't he? What's happened to Ely? He's back in 16th.
Yeah, he's Mate Orban. They're in a battle, and he's actually looking to go by him right now, coming into the final corner around the outside.
By side. It does work on the outside, because you just pinch, and it works. There we go. Exactly like I spoke about it earlier. Textbook move there on the outside, and ahead of him, VR, Talbot, and Yunt. Nose to tail, literally.
Talbot
Talbot and VR.
Oh, and a little flash. Talbot gives him a flash.
Say sorry. There was a nudge from VR on Yunt, and then because of that, it slowed him up, and Talbot hit VR, which means VR hit Yunt, which means VR hit Talbot again. It really was a chain reaction.
Casa is closing the gap a little bit, I think. No, he's not.
He's 3.4 seconds, 3.6 seconds now behind. But 3.4 still, so it was 3 seconds before. But Talbot's not putting him under pressure at the moment.
No.
But we saw it once again, like it was at Melbourne, looking after his tyres, Talbot, excited. Refresh. Talbot, looking after his tyres at Melbourne. We saw it again at the end of that stint. He was gaining on the two leaders.
Big time.
He was putting under great pressure.
We still don't know what happened, but it bundled up a fair bit at the end there, and I think it would be very exciting to see that happen again at the end of the race.
Absolutely.
I think.
I can't see this pressure from Toby Davis and Van Dorn just going without any result for the next 23 laps.
No, I completely agree. And two big stories though, Ryan. Ross McGregor, who won Division 2, who essentially finished 31st place in our points table, based on it being two servers, is running in 11th place at this point.
But he's on a two-stop strategy.
Yes, okay, but that being said, that's a significant jump. He's showing he's got the pace to be here in Division 1.
Oh, absolutely. He qualified by the best qualifiers of the new guys. Well, 17th, so.
The other story was, if Van Dorn wins this race, he will maintain his winning streak.
No, he won't, because he didn't win the final race.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry to steal your thunder there.
Oh, I should have done my research before I brought anything up.
Before you opened your mouth, never mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ross McGregor and David Yunt are both in two-stop strategies. I think Lennon is as well, because he pitted very early, and he can't make it on fuel in 36 laps. So, we'll look for McGregor and Yunt to drop back, unfortunately. Ripper is the best of the two-stop strategy guys. And he will drop in probably around about...
No.
Well, probably dropping around about where VR is, actually. And then he'll have fresher tyres than VR, so you look for him to challenge probably the top 10, actually, Ripper in the end. Oh, Davis just looking for that. Oh, Van Dorn's leaving little gaps, but not big enough V8 Supercar gaps, is he? He's not leaving in a Holden gap.
And maybe a Clio can fit in, but...
Yeah, I'd fit my Clio in, tell you.
It's everywhere.
What are you trying to say?
Ryan's always trying to go around fitting his Clio in places. And if Davis is to get close, where do you think he would make the move?
Right. So the best place to pass is down here, isn't it? But he just doesn't seem to be able to get the exit.
No, he doesn't. And you can't expect him to make a mistake.
No, it wasn't. Well, is Ripper going to be a factor in this race? How long is Ripper going to stay out? I don't think we're going to catch him before he pits.
Now.
Yeah, it's going to be this last event.
20, 40, 60, something like that.
He's spoiled it for me, Evo.
Eric Tveit out with suspension damage.
Oh, Tveit. By the skin of his teeth, he gets into this server. Those drivers are not 2 laps down, by the way, all 1 lap down. It's just people get to, because it's such a short track, you get to the timing beam before the next timing beam, and it presumes you're a lap down. So just ignore those; they're not laps down. In fact, the only people who are laps down are Roding, Barbagallo, and Hull. We lost Tveit, we lost Brent and Yashin. LaRose and Asbury didn't even manage to turn one corner. Well, LaRose did manage to turn one corner, then disappeared into the infield immediately, and had to quit the race. Couldn't even get round the lap, unfortunately, Yves. And as Ross McGregor enters the pit, so he will now drop back. Will Ripper pit this time around?
Will go now. Yeah.
Yep, there goes Ripper. So he won't be a factor in this battle, which is very, very close for the win. Between Davis... sorry. They were passing Ripper just as I was changing the cars. Between Davis and Van Dorn, and again, it's that final corner, is it into the first corner, but there's no space to overtake there. Unless Van Dorn makes a mistake, and...
That's not very likely. That's not very likely. We haven't seen many mistakes out of him.
Craig Lowndes bumps him saying that.
Oh, he's there!
Oh,
he's there!
There we go!
Wow.
He wanted it.
Van Dorn is so good at defending even after a little, like, I wouldn't say a full-on mistake, it's just mispositioning his car in a corner. Because like you said, even if he's offline, he doesn't seem to lose the time like other people will. He's able to...
He's made a mistake there, but he manages just to minimise it so that it's only 90% of a V8 Supercar gap, and not 100% of a V8 Supercar gap.
But now look at the time to Casa.
Oh, Davis, too late the brakes. He's going to have to...
now he's got to work. He's got to work to get it back now.
Yeah, who's that just pitting then? Looked like he's actually... Oh, he crashed in the pits. Who's that? Who's that at the end of the pit lane, Keith?
I'm looking.
Like Holm, perhaps.
Nick Defray.
Nick Defray has just crashed into the pit entry, unfortunately.
Nick Defray, yeah.
So he's had a bit of a baptism of fire, unfortunately, in Server 1. Qualifying towards the back end of the grid and then crashing into the pit entry, which is incredibly easy to do, actually, because the pit entry is very slippery, isn't it, Evo?
It's very slippery.
All that rubber build-up.
And you come at quite high speed from the last turn, so it's really difficult to adjust your pace there.
So then look at the gap Van Dorn now has over Davis because of that mistake that Davis made.
That's all it takes is that one mistake. Now Van Dorn can kind of
relax a little bit, perhaps,
and he can start to push harder now to get that gap from Davis. And I was thinking if Davis was close enough and kept trying those little moves.
Oh, that's a beautiful final corner for Davis, though. You know, that was a beautiful final corner for Davis. Going to get 2/10 there, 1/10. That was beautiful. I can just tell. He's so focused.
So badly.
He has focused quickly, hasn't he, after that mistake? That's one of his attributes. He does focus straight away. Doesn't make more mistakes. That's the one weakness I think Florian Strauss has as a driver. Tends to just carry on with the mistakes a little bit more than you would ideally want, despite that speed and coolness that he has.
Kalberg has closed right up on Casa. He is now only half a second back. 3/10, 5/10, half a second.
And Torbog's back's been this close for quite a while now, actually, but without actually exerting any pressure. We've seen a very benign Jesper Torbog this season so far. He's not been particularly aggressive. It's not really his style to be aggressive, but still.
We're missing the wow factor. We're missing the wow factor from the Iceman, is what you're saying.
He's driving like a noob. That's what he would say.
Ripple passed Villar.
Did he?
Well, that's it.
That's fourth position.
Of course, tires.
Where is Strana? There's Strana. Oh, it's a big gap though to Ripper and to Strana.
That's a big gap.
Strani, sorry, should I say? I apologise for saying the name wrong, Eric. That's a big gap, but he has got 16 laps to make it up, and the gap is 13 seconds. So he has to go a second lap fast. It's possible.
It is very possible.
We might see him challenge Strana, but ninth place would be a good result for a two-stock Cautionneer. Sorry, carry on.
He has the room to make up that place.
Absolutely.
The gap's 13 seconds, and he's going to be about half a second to a second a lap faster, and it'll actually the gap will get larger in the times between them as the session this stint goes on. So you're right.
Look out for that.
It's a possibility.
Absolutely. And Schlemo has dropped back. He was in that strong fourth, but he's not moving forward anymore. So we've got 360 Racing 5th and 6th. I wonder if Strauss can catch Schlemo because it's 2.4 seconds the gap. It looked to me like Schlemo was much quicker at the end of the stints than Strauss was. And that was the case last year as well, actually. Schlemo should perhaps have beaten his teammate here last year and was too nice to him, too courteous. But this time around, I wonder how it will be if Strauss catches him up and starts putting him under pressure. We'll wait and see. Torbog still pressuring Carter, and Davis still pressuring Van Dorn. He must be sick at the back of that Van Dorn car. Must be sick of looking at that GamePod logo.
Well, looking back from Van Dorn through the GamePod wing.
Well, I don't know if you can see it on the broadcast, but we can't quite see it on the RID viewer. It's not quite clear enough on here, but I'm sure you can see on the broadcast that GamePod logo on the back of Van Dorn's car, and Davis must be sick of it. He's seen it every corner for the past 46 laps.
Pretty well every lap, every corner. And
so 46 times 7. What's that, Keith?
Don't even try. Don't try.
280, 322. So we've seen it 322 corners. He must be pretty sick of it.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Darren Ganji, who's joined us for the race. Also for
hi Darren.
For giving us a plug in this week Inside Sim Racing. Great episode recently. Everyone check it out at InsideSimRacing.tv. They'll be covering the season for TouringProSeries and also for FSR and the iRacing World Championships and the NASCAR Championships. So check them out. They put on a great show. They've been doing it for a long time, and they're really good at what they do. So check them out. InsideSimRacing.tv.
Absolutely. We'll be right back after this.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing, puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
And last time we played that video, Stoffel Van Dorn was leading the standings, and the second time we played the video, Stoffel Van Dorn is still leading the standings.
He is still leading the standings.
So Stoffel Van Dorn is definitely choosing GamePod.co.uk at the moment. And again, to remind you all, if you are in the US or in Canada, they do ship worldwide, and at the moment there is 40% off shipping costs at the moment, and 10% off the GT2 seats. So if you're looking to get a racing seat, there is no better choice at the moment than GamePod. So look out for them, and of course, you'll be supporting your friendly neighbourhood Touring Pro Series at the same time. So it's a win-win situation, isn't it, really, Keith? It can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the gap. Davis has closed the gap up, hasn't he?
He closed it again. He's really faster, but he has the pace on the Van Dorn.
Well, okay, guys. So let's have it. We've got 12 laps to go.
Yeah,
Call it.
I can't do it.
Call it.
Do it. There's too much pressure. Too much pressure. Toby Davis. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it.
I'll go for Casa.
Oh yes.
Go for Casa. That's very nice. But Keith, we missed our cue. You know, Danny got all that damage.
Oh no.
Yeah, but he's not doing that bad, really.
Relax, Quagmire. You
this is what Danny.
Peter Weller from the opening scene of RoboCop.
He could be doing a lot worse, couldn't he?
He could have been doing a lot worse.
Moving on swiftly from that.
To be honest, I really do think Danny is actually doing much worse than that guy right now, because he's got a whole bunch of angry racers that are going to be looking for him.
Didn't you have a word for the worst, the noobest mistake?
It was a massive showing of plebbery.
It was a massive showing of plebbery from Danny Asbury. I know we're ripping into Danny, but he's a good friend of ours, and he won't really appreciate it too much. But
he's a great friend of Touring Pro Series. He's also our media guy. He puts out the Touring Pro Series Weekly, which everyone should read, because great reads, and it covers everything to do with what happens in the Touring Pro Series world. So definitely check it out. He puts in a lot of effort, and anyone who's looking to maybe do an article with him, email him. He usually puts his information.
It looks including articles, because it means he has to do less work.
Yeah.
No,
so
I'm joking. Yeah. So it's out this Tuesday, actually. The next TPS magazine, issue number 14. It's out every 2 weeks on a Monday if you're in the US, on a Tuesday if you're in the EU, because as per usual, USA is behind Europe in terms of its technology and its timing and its deadlines, Anyway, moving on.
But if Davis is going to make a move, I think it's always going to be more the turn one.
The problem is he's strong, isn't he, in that area where it's difficult to make a pass.
But the only thing what he needs to do is just in the last turn, he needs to force Van Dorn a little bit in a little mistake that he runs on the curve a little, and then you can have a good run on him.
But he's losing time in all these long corners. That's where he's losing time. In the technical braking areas, he's gaining time. Through turn 4 and through turn 5, then down towards cold corner, or the bowl, whichever you want to call it.
I call it the bowl.
I like the bowl too.
You like the bowl?
Hey, Ryan,
if he passed into there, it would be called the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's a good one.
If you take out a few people into there, isn't it called temping bowling or something? Anyway.
Oh, jeez. Moving on. On a more serious note, we're going to do the way we're going to do the giveaway for the 25% off any purchase at GamePod.co.uk, which is, again, this is a massive prize. I know it seems like it's just a little number that you're getting, but if you actually if you purchase something from GamePod, the larger items, you could be saving €250, which is huge. Okay, so
more than
that. Doesn't cost you anything. Hop on our Facebook page at facebook.com/TouringProSeries. Comment in the post that is up. It'll be a random draw to whoever posts comments on that thread. And good luck to all the people who comment on it.
And congratulations again, last week's winner Matt Hunt. He won last event winner, 2 weeks ago, of course. Matt Hunt, he won that, so he's enjoying his 25% off as well. And of course, if you don't, and David's gone wide again. Oh, he managed to sort it out that time around. So he's not lost quite as much time as last time, but still, that's the area he needs to put the pressure on. He just can't quite do it. Not got the room to do so.
Did Toby win in the V8 race?
No, he's never won a V8 race.
So both are going for the first win in the V8.
In fact, none of the THR drivers have ever won a V8 race. In fact, since Barbagallo this time last year, only one driver outside of the 360 Racing stable has won a V8 race. And that was John Wilson at Bukakoi Park. It's been old Schlemer and Strauss ever since, but it seems like today we're going to see a different
who's that
team winner.
there?
That's Maciejewski off the track.
Okay, he's just clearing away, let these guys go through, doesn't want to interfere. Casa now 2.2 seconds.
Yeah, he's gaining slowly.
Slowly chipping
8 laps
away.
to go. This is where we saw the gap, changing earlier on, and Lennon again has been lapped by these cars and has fresher tyres on and trying to get past. There's Lennon again involved in this, and he just likes his TV time, I think, Keith.
Yep. Just trying to get a little airplay.
Cars are looking stronger now. I think he's gaining significantly. If Maciejewski doesn't hold him up, it could be a Cars going for it, and Ivo's contrary prediction might come true.
You never know.
Damn you, Ivo.
That'd be a good call if Casa comes through just silently. Someone called him I can't remember who it was, but nicknamed him the Silent Cassassin.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm liking that.
I like it.
Oh.
Yeah,
who was that?
I think it was Bradley Vanian. I'm sure they'll post.
We've got two battles here. Sorry, we've got two battles here. Casa and Torbog, of course, but then, to go back through we've got Lennon and Maciejewski, and Lennon tried to take advantage of the fact Maciejewski was being lapped, and Maciejewski kind of just elbowed him off the track and said, "Oi, don't think so, son."
It was Michael Gillespie, so I'll give him the credit for the nickname.
Gillespie.
Little naughty.
Casa lost time on that lap. Casa lost 0.3 on that lap.
Ruskus now.
No, not playing a Ruskus. Oh, it's side by side. Oh, this is scary stuff. Lennon's through though. So TPS Racing. So my stablemate, Mr. Gary Lennon, and painted by Florian Strauss that car is. So beautiful car as well. So he manages to get past up to 15th position. Levesque is in 14th, so he's not made any more progress than that. But he is close to the battle between Talbot and Ruskus. So the Formula 05 guys are having a bit of a ding-dong together. We've not covered much of the people back down the field, actually, so I apologise for that. But there is Talbot and Ruskus. That's in the 05 Motorsport stable, but driving for the Formula 05 point-scoring team. So just explain to the viewers exactly how that works. You can only have two drivers scoring points in the team's championship, but of course, drivers are often part of a bigger organisation, and that's where that comes in. We have sister teams and umbrella teams, and that's get quite complicated, even for me, and I organise the bloody thing. But Talbot's looking like he won't get past Jeffrey Ruskus. But they're both very good friends, actually, these two as well, and Ruskus tends to call Talbot Toolbit.
Toolbit, yes. George Toolbit.
Yes, George Toolbit.
George Toolbit.
Not taking very good. Ruskus is off! Ruskus takes out his
teammate! He almost collects his teammate.
I'm going to do that next time.
Come on, Toolbit.
But look, who's behind? There's Levesque! Oh, almost took out Talbot then.
That was a really bold move.
That was really close. That was not on, really.
Davis is slowly closing the gap on Van Dorn. I mean, it's such an up and down.
4 laps.
The gap between Ripper and Strana is 7 seconds, so that's not going to be resolved.
That's not going to happen. No.
But a great result there, Strana, to be in 8th position. It's fantastic results. Strauss is not gained on Schlemmer. He's 6 seconds behind Schlemmer. He was 3 seconds, 2.3 seconds behind before. So Strauss has made mistakes somewhere again, or his tyres have gone off badly. So it's been a poor event for Florian Strauss. 6th position it's going to be. And some people did predict that he might have a bit of a downturn in fortunes. Mr. Danny Asbury being one of those.
Do you know that
it has happened?
If we had another 5 laps, Casa would be on the bumper of
We don't have 5 laps.
Davis.
That's moved.
If we no, just an extra 5, because I think there's 4 laps remaining.
But if these two battle, Van Dorn makes a tiny mistake and they get side by side.
This could be very interesting. But Van Dorn has just been so flawless with his mistake. And just as I said it, he's
that was close. That was close.
That was very close. But look, and then he pulls away. He's on the verge of running wide. Oh man!
Every time he just sorts himself out.
Very, very talented to be able to recover from those little mistakes. It looks to me like Davis's brakes were flickering a little bit there, and I know he told me he had
last night. We were talking to him last night, weren't we? Talking to him last night, and his pedals just failed at one point.
His throttle. He said his throttle was fluttering and he wasn't getting full throttle at some point. So maybe that might be an excuse for not catching Van Dorn here today.
I think there's no excuse.
I will do it.
You would use the excuse. We know you would, Ivo. But we've got 3 laps to go at the end of this lap. We've got 59,
Davis,
60 and 61.
Looking good. He's looking good out of the final corner.
Oh, look at Carter and Torborg as well, and Lennon.
These guys, how are they closing? How are they doing this? They're down to the gap's down to 1.9.
Oh, Torborg!
Mr. Lennon.
Lennon's getting in the middle. What are you through?
Lennon. You locked down, fella. I don't think Torborg's going to be very pleased by that.
He gets a flag already again. So.
Well, I think Torborg will only be happy with that if he does the same to Carter.
That's not very nice. I mean, at the end of a race, and he's not racing for position or anyone around him, Gary should be giving way here. That's...
Yeah. Oh, but Davis can't catch any more position. But Davis is off! Davis
went wide.
The ball.
And Lennon is going to interfere with this battle for Casa heading towards Davis now, and it's not going to have some happy drivers here.
Davis has not lost as much as I thought he'd lost, but there's only 2 laps to go to make that up. And Van Dorn's made a mistake!
No.
Van Dorn ran wide at the final corner.
How did he manage to not lose any time?
There. How did he even get into the corner then?
Lennon...
The pressure is on.
Well, this is what I said, if it was 5 more laps. Carl's
coming. Lennon just needs to just stay out of this battle. Lennon, I love you, but stay out of it.
Yeah, Lennon is right in the midst of this, and it's you're not going to have some happy campers if
from Team Boss. Harry, from Team Boss, stop doing it.
And the grief passed Strauss again. So.
Oh, Strauss, did he struggle?
Casa dropped the wheel. Lennon's menacing the back of him, but Lennon should just be easing
off
look
at Casa on Davis. Van Dorn running wide as well.
If he's gonna do it, they're gonna win a lot there somewhere.
Davis would not be pleased if Casa gets by him.
Oh, and Torborg going down the inside of Lennon now as well as a result of that.
He gets him
back. Right behind Davis. Couldn't be any closer into the final corner.
Final lap.
The final lap. This reminds me of the real V8 Supercar race where Wincup and Winterbottom got together and it ended up Davison getting a small gap and winning because Carter and Davis are together.
It's just the same like before the pit stop.
Exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's right at the end of the
all
stint.
4 of them this close after 61 laps, 150 kilometres. Carter right in behind Davis.
Casa's close enough, and he's going really deep, trying to get Davis a little rattled out.
Oh, Torborg's
all over Casa.
On the other side as well. And also McGregor's coming to join in with this battle also.
Very fun last corner.
Down through the ball.
These guys are playing for keeps, but Van Dorn.
Casa wide.
Is he going to win?
Torborg's got the run. Torborg's got the run on Casa.
Casa's got the slipstream. This is close.
Squeeze Davis.
On the straight. Oh, they're 3 wide almost. Coming together.
This is going to be Casa.
On the outside. He's going to make a move. Van Dorn's going to win. But he's going to be second. He's not going to be Casa. He's wide.
Torborg's going to go on Davis.
Casa's always spins. I think who's going to be second? It's Davis. Van Dorn wins. Davis second.
Wow.
What a finish. Torborg third. Casa in 4th. Unbelievable scenes here in the final corner.
Wow.
Oh, Casa tried it, and massive props to him for trying, but not quite able to make it stick. What a race. Van Dorn superb, soaking up under pressure all race long. He led every single lap pretty much from Davis and was under pressure the whole entire time. Superb performance.
So okay, now here's a question just to throw this out there.
Just to round up the results before we actually go to that. The rest of the people, there's some people racing. Schlemo 5th, De Green 6th, Strauss, Strani, Ripper, VR, Ailey, Rusius, Talbot, Levesque, Lennon, McGregor, Matiszewski, Yunt, Walsh, Orban, and then we got Loeffler, Roding, Defray, Barbagallo, very poor run again, and Holm, the last of the finishers. We've got 5 retirements. Top of my head, it was Tveit, Brent, Asbury, LaRose, and Yashin. Those are the drivers who missed out, which didn't finish here today, but great action. Sorry, what was you going to say, Keith?
No, I just was wondering, do you think this would have been, they would have been battling like that a little sooner if Lennon had not been in the middle of it?
Perhaps. I'll be having words with Mr. Gary Lennon.
He certainly got some airtime though. I mean,
absolutely from our sponsors. Well, it's kind of the series of sponsoring, really. Anyway, we will be right back with the drivers after this.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.